Hello, everybody, and welcome to this conversation with WISER International. We are coming to you from the Carolinas in the United States. I am Veena Khandike, Director of Grants and Partnerships, and I have Leah Catotti with me. She is the Managing Director of Operations and Strategy for WISER International. Hi, Leah.
Hi, Veena. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And we have Amy, who is doing our technology, and she's a technology coordinator. And we will get started. So, Leah, why don't you share your presentation with us?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, everyone. So, I'm here to talk about WISER. WISER empowers girls in rural Kenya to overcome the barriers that threaten their health, safety, and education. And we do this by creating an environment where girls grow into leaders who can drive change in their communities. We work in a small community called Muhuru Bay on Lake Victoria, which faces some of the most intense challenges in Kenya. So Muhuru Bay has among the highest rates of malaria and typhoid in the country. It has HIV prevalence estimated to be as high as 38% and intense poverty with the average income of less than $2 a day. And as is common in many parts of the world, these challenges disproportionately affect girls. Girls face gender-based violence and sexual abuse, which is common in schools and in homes. They face child pregnancy and child marriage, with the majority of girls married before age 18, and pregnancy still being the leading cause of dropout in schools, with about half of girls becoming young mothers before finishing their education. Because many families are unable or unwilling to invest in their daughters, many girls resort to transactional sex to be able to afford hygiene items, clothing, or school fees to keep themselves safe and healthy and in school. Together, this means that unfortunately only 7% of girls finish high school. WISER exists because we believe that girls deserve better, that girls deserve access to opportunity. What we do is identify the barriers standing between girls and their education, health, and safety. And then we knock these down one by providing the tools and resources that girls need to thrive. So to ensure that girls are healthy, we provide everything from clean water to menstrual pads and medicines. To ensure that girls are physically safe, we provide a safe place for girls to live and sleep and learn at our boarding school, where there is no physical or sexual abuse and where all girls are treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve. To ensure that girls are emotionally strong and mentally healthy, we provide peer-led psychosocial support, faculty-led guidance and counseling, and leadership training. To ensure that girls have a pathway to being economically self-sufficient, we provide high-quality education, hands-on computer and entrepreneurship skills building, and a pathway to higher education in the workforce. We do all of this in a really holistic, girl-centric approach, ensuring that all of these pieces come together to make sure that girls have what they need to thrive. And that's what we're seeing happen at WISER. So girls aren't just in school, they're not just overcoming barriers, they really are thriving. Over the last 5 years, 100% of our students have graduated, compared to 7% regionally, and 89% of our alumni have enrolled in higher education versus 3% regionally. Girls are not just graduating, they're not just academic superstars, they're healthy, safe, and empowered. Graduates are confident, ambitious, and they have the agency to control their life choices after they graduate from WISER. And that really is what our partnership with Dining for Women will make possible. So this grant will build the sexual, economic, and interpersonal agency of almost 1,000 girls in rural Kenya next year, and we'll do that through experiential learning, leadership development, and reproductive health education in a healthy and empowering environment. This project has 4 components, and the first one is to create a healthy and empowering environment at WISER as 60 new girls join in January of 2019 as part of our expansion to double the size of the school. This project will provide clean water, healthy meals, and all necessary medicines and treatment to ensure that girls have the resources they need to stay healthy and be able to focus on their studies. The second component of this project is providing quality academic resources and hands-on experiential learning and leadership training to our full student body of 210 girls next year. So this project will provide everything from textbooks to school supplies to new equipment for our science and engineering and computer labs. as well as really hands-on opportunities for girls to grow as leaders. We'll do that through regional academic and athletic competitions, our science and engineering club, and leadership training to ensure that girls have what they need to thrive inside and outside of the classroom. Through this, WISER students will build their self-esteem and confidence, they'll be academic high achievers, and they'll be more likely to graduate and enroll in higher education. The third component of this partnership is supporting the continued success of WISER alumni after they graduate. In 2019, we will have 175 WISER alumni, which is the largest cohort of high school educated women that Mahuru Bay has ever seen. This project will invite all of those alumni back to campus for an alumni mentorship summit, where they'll have time to spend with faculty mentors, with their peers, and serve as mentors to younger WISER students to share knowledge about how to successfully transition to college or the workforce after graduation. Together, this will create a continuum of support from the first days on campus through the years following graduation. At the same time, this cohort of WISER alumni will send a powerful message to the community that girls can be leaders, girls can be successful, and that girls are worth investing in. They'll serve as role models not just to younger WISER students, but to thousands of girls across Mahuru Bay, showing that girls are worth investing in and really helping move along cultural change in the value of girls. The fourth and final component of this project is to engage younger community girls through sexual and reproductive health education. So through this, WISER students will be trained as sexual and reproductive health leaders, and they will then lead sessions in local primary schools, secondary schools, churches, and community spaces throughout Mahuru Bay, where they'll share critical health knowledge and serve as visible role models of girls leading change. Overall, this will result in long-term outcomes that address the cyclical burden of poverty, disease, and gender-based violence that girls face in rural Kenya. This all starts with these girls right here, and Dining for Women is really making this possible. So we're really excited for this partnership and grateful for your support. And I'm happy to answer questions about WISER and our impact in this project now.
Wow, Leah, you are doing some fabulous work in Kenya with these girls. Those statistics are absolutely phenomenal. I just wanted to tell everybody, since I introduced us coming from the Carolinas, WISER's home office is in Raleigh, North Carolina, and our home office is in Greenville, South Carolina. And actually, somebody from your home office is going to visit us and do a presentation on WISER. So we're looking forward to that. So, getting back to your project in Kenya, this must be a different situation for the families that you are dealing with. And this is a first generation schooling for the girls. The parents sometimes may not have been to school. So, how challenging is the socializing process when you reach out?
Sure, it's a great question. So girls in Mahuru Bay face a number of challenges that we already talked about, but they also face family expectations for them to do chores, to take care of younger siblings, to collect water, to do dishes and washing and clothing, and a range of things to support their household. And so it is not just the school fees that are a barrier to girls getting into school, it is all of these other expectations. And so what WISER does is, by fully funding all of our students to come to WISER, is remove those barriers. But for the families, there's still a challenge of then sending their girls to school and not having someone at home to help with some of these chores that they're used to. So it is a challenge for families, but it's something that over time, families have really come to support WISER. We started fundamentally community-based, with community involvement, with the chiefs, with families sitting together under the tree to figure out what would be a solution to these challenges. And we've seen that that community support just continue to grow, so that as WISER girls are demonstrating that they're graduating, that they're successful, that they then go on to have better careers and then are able to give back to their families in that way. We've seen this really incredible community support for girls, and this shift in both the cultural value of girls and in the mindset of families that girls and girls' education specifically are a worthwhile investment, that girls have potential beyond being help around the household, beyond being young mothers, beyond being young brides, but that they have a huge amount of value that they can contribute as leaders and thinkers and students.
Mhm. Absolutely wonderful. So, being in a boarding school allows wiser teachers and staff to kind of really interact with these students and create all kinds of dreams for these students. Um, so, tell us more about some of your unique projects, especially your STEM projects, and how well your girls are thriving.
Sure. So STEM is a key piece of what we do at WISER. We provide university quality science labs, we provide our computer lab, and we provide science and engineering club and hands on curriculum and projects. We've actually had 15% of all WISER students compete and win in regional science and engineering fairs, which does a huge amount of just the hands on learning and critical thinking, but also demonstrating that girls can compete and win against boys and girls from other regions as well. We've had really exciting and creative projects come out of this, including one of my favorites, which two girls 2 years ago put together, which was a lamp that was powered by solar, by wind, by a little hand crank, and by water. So it could capture the wave energy on Lake Victoria, where fishing is the predominant activity and economic activity. And it could capture those four different methods to create light. And why I think this is so innovative and cool and creative is not only that it's just a very new concept that the girls came up with themselves to solve a local community issue. Also, they went back out into the community and spoke with older men, with fishermen, which was traditionally a male activity, and showed them this lamp and talked to them about how it could be used to change their lives. And so, not only are the girls building, entrepreneurial skills, they're also shifting and subverting this culture that you know, demonstrating that girls have value, that they can be leaders, that they can create these creative projects that really can create change and subvert the existing power structure in that way.
Mhm. So, do you have a picture of this contraption on your website?
We do, yes, we do, and we actually have
Okay.
a few articles about it. Yeah.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful. So tell us, what are your future plans? I mean, what are your hopes for these girls? I know the alumni are getting more involved. What else is in store?
Sure. So supporting our alumni is one of the next frontiers for WISER. Are starting to have girls graduate from university. As I said, we've had 89% of our girls go on to higher education programs, and they are starting to graduate as nurses, future doctors, future engineers, future lawyers. And it really is exciting to think about all of the good that they'll do as they come back to Mahurube or as they share their critical thinking abilities throughout Kenya. So supporting our alumni is a really exciting next frontier. Um, Another really big thing happening for WISER is the expansion. So right now we are in the middle of doubling the size of the WISER Girls Secondary School to reach twice as many girls as ever before. That really is coming from the community. We know with our numbers that this impact is working, that our model is working, that girls are graduating, they're successful. And the community wants us to expand that to reach more girls. And so we are in the middle of doubling. Dining for Women is graciously supporting our new girls as they join in January of next year. And it's a really exciting time as we begin to accept girls from across Kenya for the first time as well. Um, we're also in the middle of expanding several of our community health outreach initiatives. So we're expanding our clean water system to reach 10,000 more people by the end of this year. We're expanding our sexual and reproductive health education work, which Dining for Women is supporting, and helping us reach thousands more youth in that process.
Oh, that sounds absolutely wonderful. So, Danny for Women wishes you the very, very best in your present projects and all your future projects. Leah, thank you so much for being part of this conversation with us.
Thank you so much, Vina. It's wonderful to talk with you.